Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And today, the UDA NDC was a big success. I think, if you ask me, it was a big success on their end. DP William Ruto's speech was powerful. Now, that was just my comment on it. In this video, I wanted us to look at something very critical. President Uhuru Kenyatta, after holding the ODM and even a week before holding the ODM and Jubilee NDC, that is on 25th February, was supposed to make a Central Kenya tour. The first person who mentioned about this tour was none other than nominated Senator Maina Kamanda. Then Raphael Tuju also mentioned that President Uhuru Kenyatta was supposed to go to Central Kenya. So after that NDC, of course, the Raila Odinga went on a campaign trail for 2 weeks. Then they went back to Jacaranda. But from January, the leaders around President Uhuru Kenyatta's handlers have been trying to make sure that Uhuru goes to Central Kenya for the tour. But it is no denial that that tour is technically being postponed by none other than President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And as I was listening to, since a weekend, when all these troops around Central Kenya ganged up to attack the president, and even Moses Kuria today during the UDA NDC, mentioning that Deputy President William Ruto have given them a platform to attack the president, I kept on asking just a question lingering. So how will the president handle this team when he goes to Central Kenya? What will be his counter strategy? And you'll be told that Deputy President have synced in Central Kenya and he has gelled with the community. Is removing Deputy President, kicking out Deputy President from Central Kenya, the biggest task to President Uhuru Kenyatta? That is the question. Is it? The president has been called a chess master. And someone was asking me in this video here, someone was asking me in the comment section that the president will only be a chess master if he successfully delivers 40% to Raila Odinga from Central Kenya. From where I'm sitting, Raila Odinga is going to get the Central Kenya vote, the 40% or even the 30%, whichever percentage is going to get. I don't think it will be pegged on directly endorsement by President Uhuru Kenyatta. But the president's endorsement to Raila is consequential in the sense that it's going to uproot, it's going to erode the Raila phobia that was cropping in. Now that is something that has been very tactical. And now that brings me to the question, why is the president postponing that tour? I want us to look at that. That is our discussion in this video. And ladies and gentlemen, this will be a very short video, that one I can assure you. So kindly take a second and subscribe. Also click the notification bell. Kindly give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube will increase the ratings. I want to say thank you very much for those of us who share our videos. And today I received a call from one of our subscribers, and of course it's called Christine Ambaka, I think. Yes, Christine. And she's telling me she's in the hospital, but she keeps listening to our videos. And I want to say thank you and also quick recovery. We are sending our prayers to you, Christine. Ladies and gentlemen, Uhuru is doing this tactically to give Raila a monopoly in entry. The truth of the matter is, Raila Odinga did not need an introduction in Central Kenya. This is a presidential candidate. Since this has been a presidential candidate candidate since 1997. So even in 2022, he just needed to know, the Central Kenya just needed to know that he is on ballot, but he did not need any introduction. So that is why the president have actually been insisting that Raila Odinga must do his own groundwork, carefully pull his own numbers, drag the audience that he wants to get from Central Kenya, then the president is just coming over to top up. So the postponing of this move has been so tactical, just to let Raila get there, let him get the entry. So after, I think by the end of April, after the nominations, the president have an access to NHS. He will now gauge that what percentage have Raila gathered as himself, so that it will also be keen to know which other group have Raila endured to himself. Which group have Raila convinced? Have he convinced the youth, the senior citizens, the women, or which group? Or the fellas that, let me say that the learned fellas, which I can tell you the learned fellas support Raila Odinga. Now, after knowing the demographic that is Raila Odinga, when the president is making that tour to campaign for Raila, he will know the kind of messaging, how to top up. So that if Raila have convinced the elderly, there is no need of Uhuru Kenyatta targeting the elderly. That is the tactical game in it. Number two, the president wants the UDA team or William Ruto to exhaust, or rather to lay their cards bare. And I can say without fear of contradiction, this is my analysis, that the attacks that the team around Central Kenya are attacking Brookside, Equity, Citizen. You know, when you attack businesses of the Central Kenya team, especially the Gitonga, this is something that Raila used to do. And this is one of the tools that was used to demonize Raila. These people will say that Raila is an economic destroyer, that Raila is going to destroy the Central Kenya economy, when he was calling for people to boycott products from these companies. That is a tool that was used. So the UDA team are laying their cards very bare. Secondly, they are coalescing around deputy president just for one reason: to hate the president. And I can say here that Moses Kuria, Mwangi Kiunjuri, Kabogo and the team, they might think they are coalescing to isolate the president, but I don't think that is going to be the resultant force. What will make the person they are isolating will remain the king at the top. And they're showing that their only mission is to hate on the president and to attack the Central Kenya, the backbone of the Central Kenya economy. This is a card that is not going to work for them. And the president will go to Central Kenya and tell them that, look here, these fellas are not doing anything. They're just selling an agenda, and agenda is to hate and to abuse and to insult the president. I think they have found out that the Central Kenya politics sometimes is one that do not have the development agenda. I think it's overrated, because these fellas, instead of telling the Central Kenya team what they want to do, they are all going there to say how president have betrayed Ruto. That is not the agenda, even though that is my opinion. Number three, the president is waiting for Jubilee nominations so that he can assemble a loyal team. You know, like everyone will expect that if he goes to campaign now in Central Kenya, he's going to campaign with some leaders, with Jubilee leaders. But that still cannot be done, because there will be an element of endorsement. For example, when he goes to a county and is welcomed by Ngunjiru, Wambugu and the other people, maybe in Nyeri, he goes somewhere, is welcomed by Nyoro, it will be an element of endorsement. So he's waiting for really the nomination to be done, so that the Jubilee Party can produce the leaders that are loyal. When he actually does that tour, he will be campaigning for those candidates. So I also feel that after the nominations in April, that tour might be done in May. If it does something in April, maybe it will just be an impromptu. Number three, finally, The truth of the matter here is there are harmonization efforts on ground. All this Red Army and the civil servants, you see the Kibichu, the Karanja Kibichu that have been sent to go to the community, it's part of the wider effort to try to harmonize the ground for President Uhuru Kenyatta. What the William Ruto and the UDA team went and told the Central Kenya community is that there is underdevelopment in the region at the watch of the president who is coming from their region. The issues of agriculture, the tea and the coffee, the issue of the coffee, they have actually portrayed a president that have neglected the region in terms of development. Now, for the president to counter that, it is not just enough of going to Sagana and telling people in the screens. But I think this team is trying to sell the development agenda, the President Uhuru Kenyatta's scorecard, so that when the president makes that tour, it will just be gelling and trying to add a voice into already what has been done. And that has to be done in a manner that is going to be very receptive. And of course, just tying this to the Sagana 3, the church rebuff, in my own opinion, was a blunder. And it was a blunder because people are attached to church. Ruto went to Central Kenya through church. And it seems people, in terms of the church issues, people are divided. There are church leaders who genuinely, or let me say, directly benefited from the proceeds of corruption. And they wouldn't like to turn their back because they still want to benefit. So one thing that is also happening, I think the State House team are also trying to harmonize something with the church leaders. That's why we'll see that most events that presidents are attending, most people, the church, the members of the clergy who preside those events are from the Central Kenya. So that's my analysis why I think this Central Kenya tour tactically being delayed. But the punchline here is to give Raila an entry and make him have monopoly, develop, get his audience. When the president goes, the president goes to an area, uncharted areas, the places of the people that Raila have not yet convinced. Those are the people that president can get the best strategy to address. But guys, that is my analysis.